everybody. Welcome to another episode of Clint Speaks. I am your host, Clint, your host, your motivator, your inspirator, your your educator. I'm having fun, man, because I can. Hey, I'm just having fun, man. But listen. Um, I'm coming to y'all with back-to-back episodes, man, because I can't stop and I won't stop. I see why people who do what they love to do, they hustle at it, man. They don't get no sleep, man. Right now it's 12:21 a.m. August 26th, the greatest day God could have created, man. I'm about to have a talk. About to have a talk with the president of the U.S., man, and find out why people going to work tomorrow or today, rather later on. It's supposed to be a holiday, man. It's a real king's holiday today, man. It's my birthday, man. Um, but either way, listen, I realized in life, man, something that even in the Bible it speaks about. There's a time for everything, and that is true. That's true. It's a time for everything, man. It's a time to laugh, a time to weep, time to cry, time to wipe your tears. It's a time for death. It's a time for life, man. It's time for everything, man. And it's a time to be born. It's a time to die. It's written, man, and we understand that. It's a lot of times for a lot of things. There's a time to dream. There's a time to look up to other people for what they're doing. But I wanted to come this morning, early this morning, just to tell you it's time out for looking at everybody else's success. It's your time. You deserve it. It's your time. It's time for you to start. It's your time. It's not time for you to stay in studying. It's not time for you to stay in the reading about other people's success. It's not time. It's time out for that. It's time. It's your time. And it's your turn. Now you somebody I understand you have role models, you have people that you idolize. I get it. You know, I'm an actor. I love Denzel Washington. I love Will Smith. Now I know some of y'all hate him now. You know, the man made a major mistake, but hey, he's human like everybody else. But I look up to those people, man. I can picture John Travolta, man. I love those dudes, man. I mean, just to see where they've come from. But it's my time, and it's your time. There was a time where I looked at everybody else acting, and next thing you know, I was on stage. I was behind the camera, or in front of the camera, rather. But it's your time. And it's your turn. It's your turn. Now, you can't sit around and not do nothing. Because to be honest, a lot of things are not going to come to you unless you go to a restaurant and get served. It's not going to come to you. But it's your time. It's your time. It's time out for taking all the courses and the classes. You've been doing that for years. It is time out for you wondering and wishing and hoping. It is time to get to moving. Now, I will say again, and I'll never understand this. I'm a Christian and I don't bother nobody, but sometimes people will click off and, hey, he said the C word. It's like, if you're that thin skin, come on now. Come on now. But I am a Christian. And everybody knows what the Bible contains as far as the books. You got your Genesis is just the beginning. That's what that means, the beginning. You got your Revelation, that's the ending. A lot of people understand that there's a first and second chronicles, there's to chronologize your life. I get that. But the problem I believe God has, and the problem I've had with myself in times past when I procrastinated, was I never got to my book of Acts. No actions behind everything I was wishing and hoping for. And when I realized it was my time to quit moaning and groaning about life, it was time out for that stuff, man. It was time out for feeling sorry for myself. It was time out for blaming everybody else because I went in a slump, I went in a hole. And I realized who I was and I started liking myself. And then I started loving myself. Well, let me say that backwards. I was loving myself, but then I started liking myself because we're commanded to love, but we don't like everybody we love, to be honest with you. There's some folks I just don't like and they know it. And some folks don't like me, and I know it, and it's fine. Not gonna like everybody, but I love everybody. But hey, Once you start doing that to yourself, as far as liking and loving you, you're gonna realize, hey, wait a minute, these folks ain't no better than I am. If they drink enough water, they have to urinate just like I do. If they eat too much food, they have to get rid of waste like I do. These folks are not superhuman. If they can make it, I can make it. There's no different God that made them that made me. Come on. I wasn't born with a tag on my back. This is a failure. Return to sender. No, I'm a success. I'm a walking success. That's why I talk about y'all's gifts so much, your talents. I want y'all to realize this, and I'm not going to get on that too much tonight. I just have to bring you to this point. This is what I saw when it comes to gifts. Everybody was born with a gift. But the problem is, there are some people, and we look up to those people that have unwrapped their gifts. We've been handed a gift and we sit on the box. Year after year, we sit on the box, never unwrapping the gift, never opening the gift. It's your time and it's your turn. It's not for everybody else to be successful and for you to struggle. It's not for everybody else to be happy and for you to be sad. It's not for everybody else to have a story that they tried and you didn't try. I want you to hear the excitement in my voice because I found out what I was supposed to be doing. Again, thought it was the NBA. That didn't work out. What I have to do now? What do I have to do now? Am I just going to be a job hopper? Am I going to hope that somebody gives me a supervisor spot? Am I going to hope that I have a good retirement? Because a lot of people are not even thinking about this stuff. They're not thinking about 10, 20 years down the road. If you're in your 20s, they're not thinking about retirement unless they've been taught that. But who has at that age? How many households does that, man? And most of my listeners are in their 40s and up. I'm just saying, it's your time. It's your turn. It's not for everybody else to be blessed and for you to be cursed. That is not the plan. Realize you deserve some stuff too. Realize, yes, 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 you're gonna fail sometimes. But understand this, in your failing, if you're going in the right direction, that is success. Listen to a successful salesman. No's don't hurt them. I listen to my wife when she does recruiting. Amazes me, somebody who a little bit over 2 years ago didn't believe in entrepreneurship for herself. That was literally like she looked at me like I was cursing her. Like, what is that? I don't do that. It's job for me. But learning the business that she's in, man, a recruiting animal, man. Just want to see everybody. It ain't just about money. She honestly want to see folks do it because she's excited about it. Look, I didn't even believe it, and now I'm doing it. And look what it's done for me. I want you all to experience this too. I'm the same way when it comes to success. But again, what I was getting at with my wife, no's don't bother her. She literally looks at that like, oh, they ain't ready right now. And she keeps going. In my early insurance days, I heard 4 or 5 no's in a row. Man, I'm ready to go home. But I realized something even in this. I don't have it all together when it comes to podcasting. Again, if you all heard my first segment, and I got to figure this stuff out too, because you, for some reason with my settings, you have to have a subscription with one of my podcasts, one of my episodes. So one of them is like they got it set up to where the listeners has to pay to listen to it. I didn't know that, but either way, we go figure this thing out. And that's one reason why I'm constantly coming tonight too. Now, I understand how Tupac. They said Tupac could go into the studio and in a matter of an hour or a few hours, he done wrote 20 hits. I could sit at this table and give you 10 different stories back to back. Tonight, man, this is my third one tonight because I'm in my element right now. My mind is on you. It's your time and it's your turn, not everybody else's turn to get blessed in front of you. God will prepare a table and listen, it's your time. It is your time. For some of y'all, it's your time to get healed. whether that's physically, whether that's from a previous relationship. Because if you don't recognize that, you'll carry that stuff into the next relationship and that won't work out. It's time for y'all to be healed. There's a time for everything. And I'm not speaking negative right now. It's time for some positive stuff. It's time for you to get the house you've always been wanting. For some of y'all just needing a house instead of living with your kin folks. I've been there. Living with family. I mean, listen, it's your time to have your own. It's time for you to get a car that's not smoking and popping and making all these no. I've been there too. It's time for you to get something nice. It's your time. You ain't got to continue to look at the next door neighbor and you working just as hard or harder than they are and they got nice stuff. It's your time. And don't you let no pastor, preacher, minister, me, or nobody else tell you things are bad. Money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money, the wrong relationship with money. That's the root of all evil. That's what's behind the bank robberies. That's what's behind people trying to carjack you. That's the love of money, that craving, that extra craving. You need money. Don't let nobody tell you you're wrong for wanting stuff. You need that. Ain't nothing wrong with having a nice wardrobe, nice jewelry, nice vehicle. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The problem is when that stuff have you. But it's your time. It is your time and it's your turn. Again, this is Clint Speaks. You all have a great night.